I put a call out to a Facebook group that I belong to called Forest People's Communication, and I asked them, do the Bigfoot swim or do they like water? And I received like 34 responses from people, and I'm going to read a few of these to you. William says, yes, 3 were spotted swimming across a lake in Brighton, Michigan in the 60s. Tom said, yes, they are often spotted swimming between islands in Washington, Arkansas, then he has SE and NW. Justin, sure, they are closely related to us and are better suited physically to survive in the wild than we are. And then EC says yes, especially if it's hot out or travel about. Then this one was very interesting. Chris wrote, I was going across a lake to go camping on the other side, and my dad flipped out because he saw 2 right by us by the shoreline, which I'm sure he's meaning Bigfoot, and exit the water and run up the hill into the woods. After we made up camp, I told my dad that I was going to a string from one tree to the other with bananas and 2 apples on it. The next morning I got up, I looked at my dad, and it was like he saw a ghost. I asked him what's wrong, and he said that he saw one pull the last banana down and looked at my dad and just turned and walked away. That's great. Carla, yep, including going island to island. John says, yes, they love to eat turtles, which is not quite sure we have actual proof. They asked him a little bit more proof on that, and he just had heard that. Of course they swim, Mary says. They, however, are not real great at hand gliding. Ha ha ha. They do swim, another person says. Frederick said they've been spotted in rivers and lakes before. So if they actually swim, I don't know. They're not afraid of the water. I do know that. Fabulous. That was really fun to see everybody come together and answer my question on that. I was raised in a religion, which I'm going to tell you it was a Mormon religion, and I'm no longer involved in that religion. I was raised that Cain is Bigfoot. And if you Google that, you'll see lots of things about what we call Mormon Bigfoot. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. 1969, LDS apostle, soon to be prophet of the LDS Church, Spencer W. Kimball, relied on instructive story of Cain, who was cursed to be a fugitive and a vagabond. Cautionary tale of a man who claimed to have met Cain. This man, his name is Patton, and he claimed to have come across a Bigfoot in 1838, and I think some of his story is true, and then he fabricated some of it. He came across this Bigfoot in Battle of Crook Creek in 1838. He related as follows. I was riding along the road on my mule. I suddenly noticed a very strange person walking beside me. His head was about even with my shoulders as I sat in my saddle. He wore no clothing. He was covered with hair. His skin was very dark. I asked him where he dwelt, and he replied that he had no home, that he was a wanderer in the earth and traveled to and fro. He said he was a very miserable creature, that he had earnestly sought death during his sojourn upon the earth, but that he could not die, and his mission was to destroy the souls of man. I rebuked him in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the virtue of the holy priesthood, and commanded him to go hence, and he immediately departed out of my sight. I believe part of that is true. I believe probably by being a Mormon, I don't know if we've ever come in contact with Bigfoot that actually speak English like that. So maybe in the 1800s they did. Not quite sure. I also have written a book on leaving Mormonism behind that's on Amazon, and I did put a chapter in there on the Mormon Bigfoot, and I kind of go a little bit into, is Bigfoot in the Bible? So I kind of researched this, and I know many of us know about a man that was born unto Isaac, the son of Abraham. He was born with red hair all over his body, like a hairy garment. Many of us know that story. It was the biblical story of Esau and Jacob. Esau was more of the hunter, very hairy, and his father knew him by his hairiness because his father was very old and was going to die and needed to give his father's blessing and I guess everything. Rebekah, who loved Jacob, the other brother, put goat skin on him to cover his smooth skin to deceive his father. So he received the blessing while Esau was out hunting to get the best kill for his father to eat because he knew that this was coming and he wanted to serve his father and give him the best before he died. When he got back in, he found out that Jacob had deceived him and he got the blessing. Esau got super mad, I believe, and Jacob got scared and had to move on for the sake of his life because I think Esau was going to kill him. The bloodline here is a direct bloodline of Bigfoot in the Bible sense. Merge that with a painting by Michelangelo. It's called The Last Judgment. It's a Renaissance painting by him. It is in the Cappella Sistine, Vatican, date 1537 to 41. If you look at the bottom of this wall that Michelangelo painted that's in the Vatican, very bottom is a cave. And he has like a devil personage in this cave, but he also has a Bigfoot. And they called him Edomites, I think. And this is a direct link to Esau in the mind of that day. Bigfoots were thought of as evil, I believe, in that day. But the way Michelangelo painted this Bigfoot is exactly what we're seeing today. So this painting was done in 1537 to 41. So obviously he and others have seen Bigfoots because the way he painted it, the facial features, everything is really close to how we see Bigfoots today. I thought that was very interesting. As I go back to being raised with Bigfoot being Cain, who wandered the earth, I always believed that Cain sent to wander the earth by God for all the earth days, and so he became Bigfoot. Don't ask me how I felt. It was just something I knew. It's not gospel of the Mormon Church. It's actually written in a book, Miracle of Forgiveness by Spencer W. Kimball. I believe there's a chapter in the back of that story of Bigfoot. So I just wanted to finish with a Bigfoot joke. So why did the sprinter not want to race Bigfoot? He couldn't stand defeat. Peace out.